Shocker Stevenson, known for his unmatched self-confidence, has always been someone who believes in staying true to who he is, no matter the pressure or public opinion. He feels strongly about remaining authentic to his nature, a trait that has been deeply ingrained in him over the years. His mindset is clear. If he were in the same situation as his former mentor Floyd Mayweather, dealing with the fame, the scrutiny, and the expectations, Stevenson believes he would likely react in a similar way. He understands the difficulties that come with being in the spotlight, and he doesn't blame Mayweather for choosing to step back and keep his personal life private. Stevenson recognizes that Mayweather has been a figure of immense influence in his career and has taught him valuable lessons, but at the same time, he's also keen on forging his own path. Despite the challenges of being in such a high-profile sport, Stevenson has always been determined to remain authentic, not letting the opinions of others shape who he is. As he looks ahead to his future in boxing, Stevenson continues to hold onto his core values and uses them as his foundation in the sport, acknowledging that his past experiences will guide his next steps. When talking about his future, particularly in regard to Floyd Mayweather's behavior, Stevenson doesn't hold any grudges. Instead, he has a deep understanding of why Mayweather might choose to keep his distance, given the pressures that come with being one of boxing's biggest names. The idea of stepping back from the public eye to preserve one's sanity is something that Stevenson can relate to, especially when dealing with the constant expectations and criticisms that come with being in the sport. However, while Stevenson doesn't fault Mayweather for his actions, he does recognize that his own journey and decisions are uniquely his to make. Looking back on his early years in the sport, Stevenson acknowledges that when he was younger, he might have made similar mistakes or acted impulsively, just like many young fighters do. But now, as he continues to grow as both a boxer and an individual, Stevenson is determined to learn from those past experiences and continue moving forward, both inside and outside the ring. The unexpected visit from Floyd Mayweather to Gervonta, Tank Davis's gym, shocked many, considering the tension that had built up between the two in recent months. The boxing world had watched as Davis and Mayweather, once a mentor-protege pair, had begun to distance themselves from each other, with accusations flying from both sides. But when Mayweather showed up at the gym, there was an unexpected calmness in the air. Despite the past disagreements, when Mayweather entered, he wasn't met with hostility, but with a warm reception from Davis and his trainers. The encounter marked a turning point in their relationship, showing that, despite everything, both men were still capable of working together and sharing knowledge. The surprise visit was a reminder that their bond, while tested, was still alive, albeit in a different form. During the meeting, Davis, his trainers, and Mayweather discussed the upcoming fight, with Mayweather offering advice on Davis's preparations and reminding him of the techniques he had once used to help elevate his career. It was a peaceful exchange that showed, in spite of the friction between them, they could still collaborate when it mattered most. When the conversation shifted back to training, Mayweather didn't hesitate to offer his expertise and advice, which was both practical and personal. Even though Davis's trainers, Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, had prepared Davis for the challenges he would face with Lamont Roach, having Mayweather in the gym added a unique dimension to the training. Mayweather's experience as a world champion and his decades in the ring meant that his perspective was invaluable, even if he no longer held the same role in Davis's career. Despite the tension from their past, Mayweather's ability to provide constructive feedback and guidance was apparent as he reminded Davis of the lessons he had imparted over the years. With his trademark focus and intensity, Mayweather gave Davis a fresh perspective on how to approach the fight, offering subtle yet meaningful tips that his trainers also echoed. This collaboration, despite their differences, was a testament to the respect they still had for one another as fighters. It was an opportunity for Davis to tap into the wealth of knowledge Mayweather had accumulated over his illustrious career, ensuring he was fully prepared for the battle ahead. The combination of Floyd Mayweather's insight, Davis's natural ability, and the preparation from his trainers all pointed to one thing: a potential victory for Davis over Lamont Roach. Davis has long been regarded as one of the most exciting fighters in boxing, and his ability to deliver explosive performances has made him a fan favorite. The fight against Roach would be another opportunity for Davis to prove his mettle, not just as a champion but as a fighter capable of handling the pressure that comes with the spotlight. Mayweather's presence at the gym was just one piece of the puzzle that would help Davis in his quest for victory, but it was an important one. The advice, the camaraderie, and the shared history between Davis and Mayweather all contributed to a renewed sense of purpose for Davis. This fight wasn't just about defending his title. It was about proving that he could overcome the challenges in his personal and professional life to emerge as one of the sport's true stars. In the larger scope of things, this fight was also a personal journey for Gervonta Davis, who had faced numerous challenges throughout his career. From financial difficulties to public scrutiny, Davis's path to stardom has been far from easy. But through it all, Davis has maintained his focus and drive, constantly proving that he has the heart of a champion. His determination was evident in his past victories, and it became even more apparent as he prepared for his upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach. Davis's commitment to his craft, despite the outside noise, was a reflection of the growth he had undergone over the years. However, the friction with Mayweather added an emotional layer to this fight. The fallout between them had been hard for Davis, and it had affected his mental state at times. Yet, through it all, Davis managed to push past the distractions and remain focused on what mattered most: winning the fight and proving to himself and his critics that he was capable of achieving greatness. As the fight against Lamont Roach draws closer, the boxing world is watching intently, knowing that Davis has more than just a title on the line. This fight will determine how far he's come as a fighter and as a person. It's about more than just a victory. It's about overcoming the personal and professional struggles that have defined his career. For Davis, this is a moment of redemption, a chance to showcase everything he's worked for and prove that he is deserving of the top spot in boxing. However, the underlying tension between him and Floyd Mayweather still lingers. While Mayweather has given Davis valuable insights, their personal relationship remains fractured. It's clear that both men have moved on from their partnership, but the emotional and psychological impact of their fallout is something that Davis will carry with him as he steps into the ring. Ultimately, Gervonta Davis's career is one of growth, resilience, and learning from the past. The mentorship of Floyd Mayweather, while valuable at the start, eventually gave way to a more independent Davis, who sought to carve his own path in the sport. Davis's evolution as a fighter has been marked by his ability to rise above the challenges in his personal life and channel that energy into his training and performances in the ring. As he prepares for another high-profile fight, it's clear that Davis is no longer the same fighter he once was. His experiences, both good and bad, have shaped him into a more mature and focused individual. And as the world watches him step into the ring, it will be evident that the journey of Gervonta "Tank" Davis is just beginning. As Gervonta "Tank" Davis continues to make a name for himself in boxing, the legacy of his relationship with Floyd Mayweather looms large. What started as a mentor-protege dynamic quickly evolved into a complicated and at times contentious relationship. Mayweather, having been one of the most dominant boxers of all time, took Davis under his wing at a young age. Under Mayweather's guidance, Davis quickly became one of the most exciting fighters in the lightweight division. Mayweather's reputation as an elite technician and his wealth of boxing knowledge were instrumental in shaping Davis's early career. However, the mentorship soon became strained, and as Davis began to grow in stature, so did his desire to forge his own path. The two men, once seemingly inseparable, began to clash over business decisions, personal matters, and Davis's increasing independence. What once seemed like a father-son relationship now stands as a cautionary tale of how even the most promising partnerships can unravel when egos, personal ambitions, and unresolved issues come into play.